Welcome back, guys. We are here after that small little break. DAMWON up against Kingzone, and Deft gets his first MVP of the summer split. This is the guy that was in contention for the spring split MVP winner overall. And now in week 5, I believe it is, week 6, week 5, he finally gets his first one here, and it was definitely well earned from the side of Deft.
Definitely. I see what you did there.
Yes, definitely.
A little bit of a play on words right there. Well, this series has been pretty close. Even game number 1, like I mentioned, DAMWON, they got a massive advantage, but it took quite a while to seal the jaws of life, I guess, around that victory. And in game number 2, Deft did Deft things again and down in bottom lane. But Kingzone stabilized. Aurelia was looking potentially scary, and Nuguri was starting to re-salvage the top lane state, but team composition came into effect, as well as a couple of blunders all occurring at once.
3-star Nuguri doesn't require synergy. 3-star Raccoon, guys. And that's who he is. He wasn't quite able to carry it all by himself, but as you were just talking about, LS, he comes back in that lane after getting ganked and first-blooded, makes the lane his own. We'll see if he can actually make that happen as we do move into game 3. Canyon looked a lot more comfortable on the Jarvan compared to the Sejuani as well. But
well, here's the thing, Valdez. Yeah. I'm going to call this after seeing the ban pick.
All right, let us know who's going to win.
So let's take a look. Nico being banned away here first. And we'll see if Kingzone are going to stick with some of their bans. Jace now. We'll see if Vladimir is allowed through the ban pick. And Karthus, maybe we can finally see him. Maybe he'll pop his head out. Does he have a head?
Yes.
I mean, he has a head, but you know what he can't, like, pop it out.
I mean, he's like
a phantom.
A skeleton dude, right?
No, he's a phantom.
That's true, yeah. We all know that from the synergies.
Yeah. Ezreal now being banned away by DAMWON. I don't think that was quite the problem.
Speaking of problems, Vladimir going to be denied this time around by the side of Kingzone.
And Karma. This is how they opened the first time, and now this is the interesting thing here. Will Kingzone respond in kind with... No, it doesn't look like it. Thomas being hovered and locked in. And Akali now being hovered. Would most likely be for Naehyun or Rascal. No other weird shenanigans with Akali.
No jungle Akali tonight, guys, even though Cuzz picked it.
And now it's handed back over to DAMWON to see what they would want to do. And they could just choose ADC jungle here. That wouldn't be the worst, but instead, they're hovering Corki.
That's locked in. We saw what ShowMaker was able to do in game 1. They waited a little bit to pick it up, though, so it's showing confidence for ShowMaker, saying that he likes it. And once again, Jarvan going to be picked here in the same spot as game 1 for Canyon.
Well, Azir now being hovered by Naehyun. Meta sucks. I really gotta say it. I mean, both of these champions didn't even exist 2 months ago. They didn't get any love to suddenly make them worthwhile. All right, Rek'Sai. Rek'Sai counter to the Jarvan. And now we'll move into the second ban phase here. And we'll see what Kingzone is going to try to pinch. I guess you have to just try to pinch ADCs or top laners, obviously. But it looks like it will be top laners.
Yeah, I mean, Nuguri had a good performance on the GP, regardless of what the end result of Game 2 was. So I don't mind the ban at all. We are going to see Sejuani fall completely out of the pick ban phase here so far. So that was picked by Kingzone as their third pick. But this time they replace it with a different jungle with Rek'Sai. So No Sejuani this time around, unless the Jarvan is weirdly flexed. But that Azir you were talking about is going to be banned here, so that hover will be successful in a way by Kingzone.
And now Aatrox finally going to hit the bench.
We haven't seen much of him today.
Yeah, we haven't.
Yeah, even with you casting, I mean, this was
really
your moment.
Yeah, what's going on here? As Kennen now is going to be banned away. Vayne being hovered. Jinx now being hovered. Maybe Jinx, Tahm, Kench.
He's been hovering Jinx for a while now. We want to see it picked up again. Even Kog'Maw. Sure, do it.
These type of hyper carries.
Oh, okay. Ryze coming in.
And the way that the coach...
Yeah, he immediately reacted in a strange way.
Maybe that's ADC Ryze. That might be Deft on Ryze.
I'm trying to look over and see if there's anything weird about this. They looked very calm, cool, collected. Doesn't seem like it was a mistake. And Ryze should be coming in here as Kai'Sa Alistar. BeryL, we saw his performance over at Rift Rivals. Deft's still smirking, by the way, with this pick. As Alistar, I hope we get to see a similar performance to what we saw the last time. As Jinx gets locked in, all right. We finally get it to happen. No AD carry Ryze. Ryze is going in the top lane, most likely. As, there you go, Deft will pull it out.
All right, give me a second here to...
run the calculations.
Yeah, I'm running it through my head. Hold on.
Yeah, the LS computer. Let's see what we got here. We need exact percentages, too. Not just... not just one team's going to win.
I'm actually thinking here.
Yeah, okay.
I think Kingzone's heavily favored.
You think so?
Because I'm seeing all the core 1 items and the way that the champions will fight each other around neutrals. And that will favor DAMWON, but that doesn't require Kingzone to commit. But from 2 forward, stuff starts getting a little bit scary where DAMWON doesn't actually have the resources to manage some of the things without Karma just going full-on supportive. So Karma, J4, Corki, Kai'Sa, and Alistar will be the team composition for DAMWON, as this is going to be it. Their win streak, it's coming to an end. Valdez to the hands of Akali, Rek'Sai, Ryze, Jinx, and Sir Thomas. Sir Thomas always here to just put an end to these things.
Yeah, I mean, they had to ban the Vladimir, right? And so they say, okay, Tahm Kench will be the pick instead. That does get taken out here. Game 3, guys, the final game of the night. Who will come out on top, DAMWON or Kingzone? All right, here we go. Returning back into the game as the return of Ryze will come back here. We haven't seen him in a while ever since 9-13 hit, and the changes did come through.
So let's look at the team compositions pound for pound, because I said that this series is going to be heavily influenced by team compositions, right? So if you look at Akali with Gunblade, yeah, she can't really do all that much to the Kai'Sa, Alistar, Corki, J4, and Karma, because the Karma shields are just going to be too strong at that point in time. In mid-game team fights, Jinx doesn't have the items to create the threshold for her to get in there just with the Shroud, the Shurikens, and getting the kills off, accompanied by the Rek'Sai. But at 2 items, that's when it starts to sort of change, where Karma can't cover all the angles from the damage that Jinx and Ryze can dish out. So Akali actually is suddenly not able to be managed to the same degree that she was before at 1 item. Ryze starts coming online at that point. From the 3-item threshold, Karma takes a little bit of a nosedive, J4 takes a little bit of a nosedive relative to the other champions on the map, and Jinx just starts taking over against the Kai'Sa and the Corki. And the Ryze is too much of a meat shield against the front line. The Corki actually isn't a pokey kind of champion. He becomes more of a mid-rangey, but that's not good against this mid-rangey, hyper-carry Jinx type of composition that's backed and bolstered by this brawlerish frontline of the Akali, Rek'Sai, Ryze. So 2 and 3 items, it gets really, really wonky. DAMWON's gaming fundamental composition begins to collapse into something that it wasn't intended to be. That's when it gets scary.
All right, well, I'm glad we got the rundown there, so you guys do know what to expect. As putting Nuguri onto Karma, I feel like, you know, we see this from time to time, where players that can carry hard on some champions, you just say, okay, well, you don't want to put them on supporty stuff, or tanky stuff is a lot of what we saw in the top lane from these players that were known to carry, but instead their teams forced them to play tanks. This time around, Nuguri is going to be on the Karma, who is not necessarily a champion that can go 1v5, but is obviously very high up in the meta right now. And so they say, instead of giving Nuguri a carry champion and throwing Karma to the bottom lane,
yep,
we're just going to give BeryL his carry champion, in a way, with the Alistar, and have Nuguri play a fantastic game on a more supportive top laner.
And I like what they're doing with Nuguri on this Karma. Yes, it will end up being transitioned into a supportive type of Karma, but if you can get Nuguri really, really far ahead, have him have base level advantages, have his gold accelerate beyond reason, then suddenly those 2 and 3 item point thresholds that I talked about are semi-invalidated if the gold discrepancy is just too big. This is scary.
Yeah. Rascal is going to have to wonder, am I safe here, as his one ward gets canceled out. And Nuguri just gets, of course, tons of damage down, tons of gold, a million different items. He's having a really fun time against that melee champion in the Akali.
Well, the Akali managed to sustain through, gonna get to the teleport. J4 losing out on his side of the map. The Rek'Sai will find herself with a little bit of an advantage. You think Tahm, that's an acquired taste. I wonder how that suit tastes.
The suit?
We could probably hit up
Nice
Ridley.
suit.
Yeah, hit up Ridley and ask how Samus Aran tastes, you know?
Okay, yeah, we can ask
Whenever
him.
they did combat. Maybe he'd be able to
Does
inform.
Ridley really lick, though? Is he more of like a
he bites,
claw
right?
and bite guy?
He bites, right. So maybe him and Tahm are having dinner one night. You don't know. They're friends.
Okay. I see where you're going with this.
God, Valdez.
I see what you mean.
Well,
Ridley got
Rek'Sai.
added to Smash, though, right?
what?
Ridley?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And Tahm knows how to smash.
Okay, there you go. He's a brawler.
Yeah.
Everybody's oohing and eyeing at the Karma, as if they've never seen this before. We all know what happens in this, with this champion.
That's a little bit of damage. Very nice. And now Akali wants to recall, but you can see that Rek'Sai pathing up towards top. This is also cannon minion. And so if Akali wanted to recall, it would have had to have been on this wave had she been able to CS it fast enough while these two minions are in between the tier 1 and tier 2 turret. That way the cannon, Nuguri can't push it fast enough. Akali's able to go back in the lane. Canyon doing what we talked about. He's covering Nuguri up in top, giving him freedom to exert dominance over the lane, keep getting those klepto procs without any fear whatsoever, try to convert into turret plates, because the Karma is really the pillar of the team composition, as weird as that is.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. I mean, he's dominating lane for now, of course, just having a good time. Cuzz has been power farming. It seems he actually has more CS than the Akali in the top lane, so doing quite a good job there overall. As the first drake this time around is going to be that Infernal.
Oh.
Okay, trying to come up here and just CC it down. The BeryL is in range, but nice little traps there by the Jinx is going to put a stop to that. The rocket's coming in. Naehyun thinking about. Oh! He missed it.
Man.
Actually, he wasn't able to get in the realm orb, but now BeryL, with no flash, is going to be dead.
It was all a cruel ploy.
Yeah, didn't need it anyway.
Yeah, Jinx ends up picking up that first blood. Good to know that TusiN's Fugu this time around was not poisonous. That's the blowfish.
Oh,
poisonous.
okay.
You gotta cook it correctly.
Yeah,
last game he tried to eat the crab, he died.
That's true.
Are you paying attention?
Yeah, I get it
now. Come on.
Thank you for the Fugu lesson.
I'll be here all night. Oh, man.
That play, though, is going to net them even some turret plates at 7.5 minutes. So Deft playing with TusiN as Jinx, Tahm, Kench. One, wrong movement here by BeryL, where I was saying, this is his carry champion, the one he likes to pop off on. Maybe going a little bit too far ahead that time around and gets punished for it.
Is faring a little bit better, probably due to the matchup now down here in the bottom lane. Kingzone, they are ahead in gold despite this cheater champion in top lane here, the Karma, doing her best to get all those Kleptomancy procs. Take a look here. This is why he's using this Tahm Kench skin, so he can cook it properly.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. And look at that. Not quite a bear trap, that's a cow trap, Valdez.
That's a big one.
Yeah, BeryL was locked up. Realm Warp, it was all just a mental... They just wanted to make him afraid.
Yeah.
Imagine walking through a river and there's a giant blue portal that just opens up under you. Probably be creeped out.
You got to scare the cows so they start running in all different directions, And that's exactly what happened. Now we got Deft off to a great start here. And a lot of people were on the DWG hype train, especially after they dunked Sandbox 2-0 the last time around. But Deft and the guys over here at Kingzone are looking to put an end to that. They're able to come back with a big victory in game number 2. And now once again here in game 3, they get their main carry ahead on his favorite champion.
Yeah, and Jinx is the champion that creates the thresholds for the other teammates, and that's why she's such an integral part. So for her to already be accelerating, it can really bring online some of the openings sooner. And honestly, with them having the advantages down in the bottom lane this early on, it really helps with the ability to convert into the Infernal Dragon. And so even though Rascal, he's struggling up in top lane, his teleport almost available, probably just going to stay. As Cuzz...
Oh, he got denied.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of damage. Oh, he is not happy. That is the most unhappy J4. Oh, my God. Oh, man.
Oh, see you later. Dunked from so many angles. As Canyon put on one of the best jungle performances in game number 1 we've seen in a long time. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached a different level.
Well, that's going to be the Infernal Dragon now going to... All right, hopefully... All right, nice. Jinx, 139 AD. Here we go.
Yeah, just keep it on Jinx here.
Excellent. 14 AD.
14 AD.
A longsword, she's going to level up. Longsword and a half. Insane value, Valdez.
That was... wow. A incredible turn of events. Kingzone obviously off to a great start in the beginning. And now it's been multiple mistakes from the side of DAMWON that just lets you feel like this game could definitely go in Kingzone's pockets from here.
Oh! Clairvoyance was just used by Tahm, I think, to restore the mana on Jinx, right?
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Ooh.
We know our observers love to make fun. That flag just barely goes out.
I'm not quite sure what this was. I mean, I've watched some praying mantis videos. It was a weird ritual. That's all I'll say.
I didn't quite hear what he said there at the end.
Right at the very end.
Yeah. But, yeah, just a kind of funny moment where just from all sides, just being pushed in. And you can see that with the mana that was given here to Deft.
Clarity.
Yeah, clarity. He's pushing it into the bottom side, and they're just getting so many blades. Okay, we're going to try to dunk now onto Nuguri. Very clean gank. He cannot even flash away. And at 12 minutes, all 5 of the turret plates go down, and Deft is flexing those Jinx muscles.
This Jinx is really, really far ahead right now. It's only 12 minutes, so there's still plates to be taken. We'll see how quickly Deft and TusiN can rotate around the map. As now Rascal's going to head towards the bottom most likely. Actually, he cancels his recall. Maybe just going to camp inside of the brush. Wait for an unsuspecting victim. Nope, looks like he's going to end up recalling. He's going to go down there, catch 2.5 bot waves. Take another look at this. Nuguri had no business being at the angle that he was. I really would imagine that Kingzone or DAMWON is probably tilted with the way that some of these things have happened this game. Giving away an Infernal for free, jungler losing insane amounts of tempo. They are so far behind right now, it's not funny.
It's true. I mean, it's very early on in the game. Just keep that in mind when you're taking a look at the turrets and the gold and where all that gold is. I mean, we already have IE and a ton of attack speed onto Deft. They're looking to roll it into more. This is where the snowball comes from. Will they go for this? They're going to clear out the vision first.
Oh. This isn't 9-14. Tahm can't eat blue yet.
He's trying. Oh, the spike comes in. Cuzz gonna deny it here.
Oh, BeryL.
Oh, look at the damage already. A couple more crits and he would have been dead, but BeryL knows this and he has to ultimate just to get away. And Deft's reign as King of the Rift is only beginning in this game.
Deft going to turn his attention back up to top lane. Don't think he's going to be able to get that plate. Akali continues to be bullied. Oh, maybe. Oh, exhaust cast.
Exhaust and you just get... Oh.
What?
What?
Huh?
Oh, he was going for the dunk from far away, I guess, but Tahm was tanking it up. I think he could have just taken one more shot. This is a strange game of League of Legends. I'll say
Tahm's
that.
like one of those serial killers that lets you get away.
Rascal, though, wants to get on top of Nuguri here. Nuguri's going to flash it, though. Knows that he has the help to live. And ShowMaker is going to be coming in here. Just flashes in for the kill. As a big push in the top side is already coming down.
And the Rift Herald, with that Jinx, should be able to raise this turret. Although Deft did just take turret aggro. We'll have to see. Cuzz is here. Has to just be a little bit careful from BeryL, but Thomas does have his flash available, so yeah, that's going to be the top tier 2 turret, and Naehyun is just getting free farm here in mid. Corki is down in bottom, ends up eating all of the CS. And now a rotation to mid. This is a systematic destruction.
Oh boy. Nothing seems to be going right here for the side of DAMWON. They get the 1 kill and a Rascal, but that's just about it. As it's been domination down here in the mid lane. I like the macro plays from Kingzone too. They let the Akali die. They push up in the top side. It was after the plates, but they get a bunch of value from it. They even try to do a bit of damage to the mid lane turret.
Well, they pick themselves up a Clown Drake here. So that's going to be beneficial. Let's roll the intro. All right, mount. So if Kingzone were to end up picking that up, it would be 40 seconds into the Baron having spawned. That's really dangerous right now for DAMWON. And so they're going to be on the back foot, which means that they're not going to really get that much usage out of the Cloud Dragon. Although it should allow Karma and Kaisa to stay on magical boots a little bit longer. They don't have to invest any gold into the tier 2 boots, since they're always going to just be on the defensive within a very small area. Just have to move between their own jungle. X-Drinker on the Rek'Sai, just for added tankiness and durability. And we're going to start seeing those team fights that I mentioned earlier where Jinx will create the openings for Akali. And Karma, she's going to be like that image of the person that can't hold all the fruit. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
That's what she's going to be with her shields.
Yeah.
not going to quite work out.
It'll be, how can I save all of my team members from dying this much Jinx damage? As DWG, you can see they're not even confident to stick under the turret. They know that the second that goes down, Deft with red buff can even get in their face. As they're looking to set this up from the side. Take a look at TusiN's positioning, though.
I can feel the tilt. You can see it in their clicks.
Yeah.
Valdez. You can just see they're all clicking forward, but they're not clicking the same area. They just want to go.
Is that what happens when you transcend?
That
as
is.
to, you know, content creator, caster, and coach to that many levels?
That's it. Rascal, he's done a really good job at remaining so close to this karma all game long. Can be quite frustrating to play the matchup. And now the items are coming in. Akali, Sork Pen boots, Ruby Crystal picked up as well. Probably gonna get an Oblivion Orb as there's no MR present on anyone else. Hopefully, for the love of Rito games, he doesn't complete it into a Morello. But maybe it won't even get to that point. Because Mountain Drake into Baron with a Jinx that's this fed sounds like a pretty good deal.
Yeah, we're kind of just hanging around here in the lull state, getting Deft even more fed.
This is actually where you freeze. You know, you've heard me talk about that sometimes.
Just sit here and you wait.
Well, you wait for Corki. Watch, ready? He's going to go up to the wave that Akali just shoved, and he's going to shove the whole wave back into Akali. Right? Because he's not going to freeze. He could freeze right now. He's not going to. He's going to shove the whole wave. Ready? Watch his monobar. See? See? Now Akali can take this wave and freeze it in front of the top tier 1 because there's no neutral on the map. And then Corki says, hey, Canyon, do you want to go up to top with me? And then he says, no, I'll die. And he says, well, I'll die too. And then they just have to watch on the minimap. That's a tragic thing. So they'll start bleeding and hemorrhaging several hundred gold and XP each minute because they can't actually break the freeze.
It's a bit of a feels bad man moment for them. They should have learned how to freeze from good old LS, as it feels like this game is in a bit of a frozen state. Nice knock-up on a Cuzz, though, as he is going to flash away from that one. Safety first. Not taking any chances as he gets caught out.
Well, we're just playing ping pong in all the lanes. And so because of that, the game is definitely remaining stagnant. No real position being developed, given that there's no neutral. So Scuttle Crab probably going to end up going over to King Zone. Yes, they are getting some of the jungle camps and whatnot, but still not as valuable as the things that they could achieve with lane augmentation. 25 seconds until Mountain, though.
Lane augmentation, I like that one.
You like that?
Yeah, LA. As, yeah, we're done ping-ponging, but the 2 minutes are up. We're ready for the Drake. As you can see, DWG, they don't want to let this one go. An Infernal and a Mountain with a Jinx that is this far ahead. You're going to be eating a ton of damage across the board and most likely losing objectives. You got the package here for ShowMaker. He saved it for just this moment. Trying to just poke them out for now, you can see his ShowMaker. And actually does a nice bit of damage there to Deft. That allows DWG to move in as a team and potentially threaten this one. Take a look at Rascal on the bottom side. He's going to push the wave first.
Oh, he has a natural flank.
Yeah. Here we go. DWG going to try to burst this down.
Deft is a little low.
He is, but he's looking to push it in. Canyon, okay, big engage now from BeryL, trying to get on top of TusiN, but the stopwatch is there. Rascal behind, but they get Deft in the back line. That's the most important thing here for DAMWON. We still have Rascal alive, but it does not compare to the damage that DAMWON have from ahead here. Nice job on the blasting planter. Cuzz was absolutely dead.
It is so important that Cuzz just lived right there. Him and Rascal, they, I think, are tailing. No, they're not tailing.
Yeah, don't do the blue.
We gotta go. This is really scary. The Karma Shields will negate any of the Baron damage, but they're respecting the teleport on Deft and the teleport on Naehyun. It is only the first Mountain Drake.
Yeah.
But it's still a really big win for them.
So first Mountain Drake is very early in the game, so they don't want to rush it. So let's see how DAMWON actually make this happen.
So BeryL finds this hero engage onto TusiN and Deft. They're just a little bit too far overextended. Deft was already missing HP. And this isn't the way that you want to start the fight. They're not really in the formation that they need to protect Deft and have Rek'Sai and Ryze act as the middle line while Akali goes deep, and then Tahm just works on protecting Jinx.
Now, it's a bit strange to be that far forward, but BeryL, the second he notices even a slight opening in this one, he is going to take it. We've seen it before. And he's not letting us down here tonight. Making that Alistar play happen. But again, we're still here where Kingzone is about 2,500 gold ahead. And no other objective was taken outside of the Mountain Drake. But certainly DAMWON feeling a bit better now here in the mid-game after that play.
Mountain does help so much. Unfortunately, Cloud Dragon is coming up next. It looks like it's going to be Rabadon's Death Cap. The next item for the Karma. Not sure how far away she is from it. Recall was channeled and then a ping on Tourette. I'm assuming that she's... never mind, it's just a leash for Kai'Sa. If she has Death Cap, it's really big. If she doesn't, then a timing attack window is okay, it is... That's a big hat.
How can she see with that giant thing on her
I have no idea.
It gives you a lot of ability power. It has to be gigantic. As you can see, they're pushing on in here, just trying to get whatever vision they can. Kingzone setting up for it, but they have so much less threat on the Baron just because of the Mountain Drake that they were denied.
Ooh,
BeryL, you can see he's going for plays here. He's going to have to ultimate. Oh, he's getting poked out now.
Karma having to use one of the shields. Also, they get BeryL's ult.
Okay, that will be blocked here by Nuclear, but it was a nice try. He thought that they would be a little bit closer, and it's very unexpected too. They knew there was no vision over there. If you can catch Deft or even Naehyun alone out of range of the Tahm Kench, that might be your key to the victory. So I like the play. And
TusiN and Rascal now, they gotta be a little careful. It's not quite at that tipping point yet. Once Jinx gets another recipe item and has a little bit utility going for her in that regard, and Ryze completes his third item, that's when things will start getting a little bit scarier. But Karma is really scary right now, so this is the threshold that we talked about before.
Yeah, she's got her big 3 items, and just another good situation here for DAMWON. They're holding on. They got those vision wards there into the Baron pit as well. They have some decent wards for a TP if need be. But this game is going to stagnate here once again. As everybody's just building up their coffers, trying to stack the gold and get as many items as possible. I'll be looking towards ShowMaker on that 2-0 and 2 Corki with 300 CS, the most in the game. As I'm going to have to hold that thought here as Nuguri is going to get a bunch of health back, but that one overload is going to put him in the ground as finally Naehyun and Cuzz are able to get the kill.
And this should allow for Kingzone to just force a Baron. Now, this is that little bit of utility that I talked about on Jinx too. She has the Vampiric Scepter now, so she can take blows from members on DAMWON Gaming and go blow for blow, whereas before she would get poked down, you saw she was missing HP. But look at that shield on her as well. Rascal zoning everyone. Sir Thomas, the true gatekeeper.
And it was double smite too, just adding to the celerity of that play. BeryL just gonna get hit in the back there as he does go out there. But the Baron is gonna go over to Kingzone. That is huge now. They're gonna look to push with their super fed 3.5 item Jinx.
And now the question is do you actually eat the Clown Dragon and try to RNG an Infernal, a Cloud, or a Mountain? All right. It must be nice when you run like that. You know?
Yeah, it's definitely a good feeling.
As we take a look at this, and Karma, she almost made it out here. She flashed away, got the heal, but Naehyun managed to bring her down.
Those Ryze mechanics, they haven't gotten too old. He still knows what he's doing. It's just a good kind of guerrilla warfare play from the side of Kingzone. You don't see it all the time, but bringing over a jungler or another Fed member who's got a lot of burst damage can often do the trick if you go in out of vision. And you can see they've committed 2 control wards to the bottom side just for this. You might be looking for it once again.
And Naehyun, he's shoving in bottom here with the Baron enhanced minions. Akali up in the top lane, Jinx and Sir Thomas in mid. Look at the damage to the turret. It's quite nice.
I mean, this is part of what Jinx is great for. Sieging turrets. You get in there, you can throw some rockets, or you can just get in range if the enemy team is too scared to fight you. And DAMWON doesn't seem like they want to take any fights outside of their main base.
And Naehyun, interestingly, not actually CSing that. I think he just wanted the minions to keep stockpiling. BeryL coming down here. But honestly, Naehyun's just way too tanky. He's not auto-attacking the turret, though. A little bit surprising.
Just look at Deft in the mid lane. I mean, he's just going to get rid of that entire health bar of the turret. That was one push. You know, it doesn't take too long. It was just him and Tahm.
Yeah.
And DAMWON weren't even able to group up and deny it or anything like that because he had 2 members down on the bottom side, 2 threatening. Kingzone are playing the siege quite well. We got a minute left on this Baron.
And that's going to be the mid tier 3 turret perforated. As Rascal really close to getting top tier 3.
ShowMaker's trying his best. Look at him. I mean, he's so fed on the Corki. Desperately trying to land big ones onto Rascal to try to push him away. DAMWON now as a team trying to group up in mid to deny the inhibitor, but then you look bot. Naehyun's doing his job. And the slow, methodical push continues from Kingzone. They get another turret in the mid lane, or in the top side. Okay, now we're diving here onto Deft, but he just flashes out of that Cataclysm. Nuguri gonna get super low, and down goes the Karma. They're gonna get a couple kills more. It looks like Kingzone may have just done it. BeryL desperately trying to zone him out there, but he's just gonna go down. Rascal here all alone, nearly goes down. Can't quite get ShowMaker, but there's just too many members on the side of Kingzone left available, and it looks like Kingzone should be able to take this win, as it's only ShowMaker left available. A sad little Corgi here, but there's nothing he can do. Deft and the boys coming on in, the perfectly timed devour. We're getting everybody into the pit, and down will go that Corki, and down will go the Nexus. GG, hand it over to Kingzone. They certainly deserve this win tonight.
And Kingzone, they show up big, able to bring down DAMWON 2-1. This is Deft's Jinx came out again.
Yeah.
That was quite nice. And he just, it was honestly a story of bot difference as well in tonight's series. Deft absolutely dominated the bottom lane along with TusiN against Nuclear and BeryL.
Oh, yeah.
And it just was really a different class of players in bottom, and I mean, it played such a huge part in all the wins.
Yeah, you do have to hand it to them. I mean, we saw that in multiple games tonight with multiple different lanes as well. I mean, we saw all sorts of different AD carries coming out, supports and stuff. Look at how happy Kingzone are after this win. I mean, after game 1, you could have said, wait, what is going on? Is this now the world of DAMWON? Are they taking over? I was certainly feeling a bit of those feels after game 1, but not anymore, as Kingzone are able to shut them down here and show everybody that DAMWON Gaming are mortal. They put an end to their win streak, and they shut them down here in the LCK.
Dealing machine got to.
Got
to.
I'm feeling pretty goffed after that one.
I mean, that's what the sign said.
Yes, God Deft. And he turned out to be quite the immortal being. in that game number 3. Only went down once on the Jinx. That's Cuzz also going to give us a little bit of a happy sign there. Everybody on the side of Kingzone should be very joyous, satisfied with their victory now over DAMWON.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a good game number 3 for them. They had that one hiccup at the Dragon where Deft was already missing some HP, walked way too far forward. Yes, Rascal had a natural flank that he was able to create himself, but the positioning was just really out of whack and it got very scary. And after that, though, they were able to resalvage, and there's no real window of opportunity for the DAMWON Gaming team composition. And as soon as Nuguri got picked out down in bottom lane, it was all too easy of a Baron capture.
It was just a story of Kingzone's redemption within the series, you can say. They also came back from a pretty fantastic Rift Rivals where they proved they were able to take some of the best Chinese teams out. They come back into LCK, and they shut down one of the best teams here, certainly one of the most hyped teams in this entire week. And this was one of the most hyped matchups. I certainly didn't expect it to go this way. I knew it would be close, but I was predicting 2-1 to DAMWON. And Kingzone just put all those predictions in the dumpster, and you really got to hand it to them. All of them played a great series tonight.
Kingzone, I mean, they showed up today against Dom lost. So, with the loss streak, what? Well,
I mean, yeah, that's who they are now.
That's it.
Dom lose.
Until their next series. That's what everyone's going to call them now.
Dom
You're going to have dreams about that.
What is their next series here? Let's take a look. Let's take a gander. DWG Gaming going up against Griffin next Saturday.
Dom lost. What did I tell you?
We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that one goes. And Kingzone's next one going to be up against Hanwha on Thursday. So make sure you are tuning into both of those games if you're fans of either of these teams. And this is where it all started. DWG just making a bunch of mistakes, really trying too hard, I would say, to make big plays early on. And it punished them big time.
I mean, this is a ritual I've never seen before in the Animal Kingdom. I'm not quite sure.
God,
I think that when he
time.
sticks the spear out, that's the mating signal for Rek'Sai.
Oh.
Yeah. Not sure where she goes with that, but they don't call Jarvan a prince for nothing, you know? So, here in bottom lane, ShowMaker was really tilted. There was no way for Rascal to actually get away from him. I don't think he needed to flash, but nonetheless, this is where you can see, I mean, Cuzz, he's busy, he's killing a ward, and Deft and TusiN are just not on the same page as the other people. You couldn't play this positioning here. It was very dangerous. And had Cuzz went down sooner, it would have allowed DAMWON to hightail and turn straight to Baron potentially, despite the 2 teleports. This was the straw that broke the camel's back. And take it from me, I'm last straw. Alright.
Last straw.
오케이, 카르마 넣었어.
Oh boy.
카르마 넣었어.
And,
깎아줘, 이거 깎아줘.
this was the final straw of sorts.
그렇게. 앞에서
And Camel's back was already broken, but they were kicking him when he was down. It kind of looked desperate from the side of DWG.
이거 카이사 노플, 카이사 노플. 카이사
Nice
타고
and a
갈게.
flash.
텔 타고 와.
ShowMaker in a flash.
나이스!
Okay, we just rotate up, we take out Kaisa, and then we rotate in to take the win. Rascal's already got his arms in the air
천천히, 아직 그렇게 있다, 천천히.
before the game is even over. They already knew they had taken the win from there.
다이브해. 나이스. 끝내주세요, 제발 끝내줘.
It's like, please end it, please end.
이겼다.
And there you go. Excited guys on the side of Kingzone. Take a look at the breakdown here. That is one big red lightsaber on the side of the Jinx.
Yeah. The Sith were victorious today, Valdez. That's what the story is here. As Jinx, she showed up. She did stuff. Akali, she took a little bit of a pounding, but that is okay. She did 5th.
That's okay. We still love you. It's all right.
All right, well.
We are going to get to hear from maybe just one person. I mean, we voted for Deft. Full disclosure here on the English caster desk here. for who we did vote for. Deft, I feel like, did the most in terms of him
What,
and his
damage?
laning teammate.
Is that how you evaluate
That's
the MVP?
yeah, I just
you
look
just
at the
take a look at
damage
the
graph,
stats?
and I just say who had the most damage. Okay, my little play-by-play brain is like, well, that's the only stat I really look at anyway. So that and KDA. So we know that Deft had a pretty good KDA that game. We'll see if the Korean casters and the observers and everybody else that votes does get to agree with me and you, by the way, who also voted for Deft.
DAMWON Gaming's next match is Griffin.
And they did. All right, that it is, I should say. Deft gonna give us the cool little pose here. The KDA actually only 5.
Yeah. And yeah, this is it. This is the that's the cow trap.
This
that
play
we see right here.
is just like, okay, you get the MVP.
And we see a catfish chasing a cow, accompanied by some extraterrestrial being thingy right
Void
there,
monster.
and a crazy lady with a rocket launcher. I'm not totally sure where we're going right there, but
Yeah.
here the Mad Canyon trying to do something, but just not really able to. And I mean, this was all that she wrote. Deft just has way too much damage, but also Rascal. This is where actually all 4.3 damage that he dealt came in.
Where's the damage graph before this fight for the Akali? That way we can get the real damage going. Well, yeah. I mean, Deft's play there with the cow trap, that was kind of like the beginning where you're like, oh boy, he's going to pop off. It's his pick on the Jinx.
He got the first blood.
They hand him the kill, right? It's like, oh boy, here we go again. And we're only going to be hearing from him with the 2 MVPs, his first 2 of the LCK Summer. I'm going to hand it over to TusiN.
Thank you very much, guys. This is TusiN with the English translation, and we'll be having a solo interview with Deft from Kingzone. Congratulations, Deft, and I cannot believe this is your first MVP interview, so how do you feel right now? Well, today, we were going up against DWG Gaming, the team that had a great momentum, so really happy to defeat them. And DAMWON is a team which has a very strong top side, and also we are the team with a very strong bot side. So I think we kept the pride of the bot lane, so that makes me extra happy. However, well, during the revival events, well, we heard that all the LCK teams opened their draft and strategies, so weren't you a bit concerned about such things? Yeah, we did open our cards, you know, our pick and bans and other stuff, so we were doing our best to come up with new things. So, I mean, both sides opened their cards, so that really didn't affect our draft. So I want to mention about today's pick and bans, because after losing game number 1, you guys were just banning out 4 and 5 cards in the top side of DWG Gaming. Well, Nuguri, I think he kind of carries the game when the teammates and the whole strategy kind of supports him, so that's a focal point of the game number 2 and 3. So game number 2. So let's check out the highlights. This is a team fight during the Baron try. So the Kingdom players were trying the Baron, and then you dash across the wall. Well, I already landed a lot of skill shots behind the wall, but actually I didn't expect to get hit by the Braum ultimate, so it went harder than I expected. In game number 3, we saw Jinx picked up by Deft, the signature player. I saw a smile on your face after you locked in Jinx, so what did that mean? When we're playing Jinx? Well, I only play Jinx when I have the confidence that I'm gonna win the game for sure. And also, I could hear my fans cheering, so that was why I was smiling. And Naehyun, his Ryze was also very impressive pick over there, because it wasn't a mainstream champion after the patch.
코르키 같은 좀 성장
Well,
상대로는
it's a good champion up against champions like Corki, the champions that usually
네, 알겠습니다.
scale in late game, so I think it's still viable.
훨씬 더 대단했습니다. 일단 초반에 상대가 날카롭게
Well, in the early game, DAMWON was making a lot of plays, but you guys are really good at countering it.
DAMWON이 상당히 공격적으로
So
접근했거든요.
DAMWON was trying some of the aggressive play over there. So they were, haha.
데프 선수의 스킬 활용이
But Deft,
엄청나서
your
해설께서 막 소리를
skills were actually blocking everybody, so Cloud Templar was really amazed by your play. Well, we had a pushing minion wave in bot lane, but we were trying Dragon, so I think the DAMWON players were a little bit like chasing us.
오늘 경기 정말 고생 많으셨어요.
Well, it was a long game today. So what did the teammates say after today's final set? Well, on the way to our venue, a lot of people were actually expecting that we might lose, all the players, so I just wasn't like with the game, but today we actually showed very good performance, so we were like, oh wow, we can do this.
오늘 승리의 한 가운데 데프트 선수가 있었습니다. 그동안 MVP 못 받아서
I
아쉽다는
heard
얘기를
you were a little bit sad that you weren't able to pick up any MVPs in the summer split, so once again, congratulations.
2라운드 기분 좋게 시작을
This is the beginning of the second round for the summer split, so any message for your fans? It was a clean victory for the first match of the second round, and also we learned a lot from rivals. So I will win all the games in the second round, and I will do my best to reach the finals. Thank you.
네, 킹존의 계속되는 선전 연승 응원하도록
So this will be the end of the interview with Deft, and I'm gonna pass it back to our casters. Thank
킹존의
you.
데프트 선수 함께했습니다.
Thank you, D-Sun, as always, for the wonderful translation. Good to hear from Deft. Gets his own solo interview today. He's not the most talkative guy, but you could just tell from the little stuff, the little smirks here and there. And just like we said, if Kingzone get the 2-1 victory, they're placed up here above DAMWON, but I'm not 100% sure if that's definitely accurate. I'm still not 100% sure who won between Kingzone and DAMWON in round 1. But either way, they're both at 7-3 with a +6 indicator, so it's super close here up at the top of LCK right now.
Yeah, and Africa, they are there at 5-4 in 5th place. The bottom of the standings, though, KT and Jinair.
Yeah, might just be the same two teams going to relegation, actually.
And the next match is Africa versus Griffin. Tomorrow in Hanwha Life versus Gen G. I'm going to be casting those with Atlas.
Yeah. Good old A to the plus is coming back. That's his name.
All right.
Atlas. He will be coming back tomorrow for you guys. And I'm most interested actually in the second matchup, to be honest. Just because Gen G come in and they stomp Griffin in flashy fashion yesterday. And I just want to see more. I want to see more Volibear support. I want to see some more weird picks. They're up against a weaker team in Hanwha Life. I want to see them, start to ramp up into the Worlds qualifiers for Korea, because that's where we all know they're at their full power.
We all know that Gen G is going to Worlds again this year. Nothing can stand in their way.
They could definitely make it, especially if they play like they did yesterday. So I'll be looking towards that second match. Obviously, FLICKR versus Griffin going to be good too. But thanks, guys, for watching tonight. It was a great second matchup here. We had some fun. Hope you did too. We'll see you next time here at the LCK.
You take me higher when I feel low. Make my world brighter when I'm alone. I keep on rolling. Oh, with your fuel, you're like my gasoline that makes my dream come true. 'Cause this is the beginning. Together with you, I'm a savage. Make myself silly. 'Cause with you, I'm feeling for the life. Like a feather, like the wind. I fly together to where we never been. You taught me love. peace won't grind me